So, Caitlin Clark's debut was today. I'm just after waking up, caught as much of it as I could, tried to see as much of this game as I could, and this is my thoughts on the game. Obviously, there's the clickbait thumbnail, there's the clickbait title, that's the YouTube game. In general, that is the game, so we gotta, unfortunately, this is a clicks game, but we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the good things and some of the bad things that we saw, like elsewhere in the league. Like normal services resumed, Taurasi's balling, the Liberty played pretty well. Like Ionescu had a decent enough game. Laney Hamilton 20 and Jonquel Jones 25. Like normal service resumed. Like Aja Wilson obviously could go and have 30 today. But today we're going to be talking about Caitlin Clark mainly because that's what you guys want to watch. So when it comes to Caitlin Clark's debut, she did a lot of good. There were quite a bit of bad, and her team sucked. Her team absolutely sucked. And at the same time, I say that, but it's hard to judge against the Connecticut Sun. They're one of the best defensive teams. Thomas and Bonner are really, really good players, and they've got a team. They're one of the better teams, and there's a reason why Indiana have gotten the number 2 pick and the number 1 overall pick in back-to-back, or number 2 pick, number one in back-to-back WNBA drafts, because they've sucked. They have absolutely sucked. The last couple of years, they've sucked. And this year, I'm not sure it looks too much better. Smith's a good player, but didn't look anything special today. Alia Boston was awful. Was absolutely awful. And Caitlin Clark turned it over 10 times. That being said, I think it's a flaw of the system as much as anything. She's getting hit with the damn Jordan rules. She's getting hit with Bill Laimbeer moves. Every time Caitlin Clark went to the basket, she was getting hacked. She was getting double teamed, triple teamed off pick and rolls. And the fact that there's a situation where a player getting double and triple teamed off pick and rolls has turned the ball over 10 times and not being able to actually get teammates free in the half court, that's on the coach. That's not even on the coach, that's just on the entire system. That's on the way the team plays. And they're far from being a good team together. They don't know how to play with each other. And I don't know why I shouldn't have said coach, because that's basically trying to scapegoat it, because it's on Caitlin Clark too. It is on both sides to learn to play with each other, and it's very clear. The Fever don't run in transition. They genuinely don't. Caitlin Clark with 3 assists, and how few of them were in transition. Her teammates don't run. They genuinely don't run for her. So that's one of the big things in Caitlin Clark's game. Other than the threes, the transition, the outlet passing, because she's not a very good half-court point guard. She's a decent half-court scorer. She can create for herself for 3. She is not a legitimate point guard. And the problem is that Caitlin Clark is now playing like a half-court point guard who is already, she's quite turnover prone. Even more turnover prone coming up against better, stronger, more physical defenders, while not being put in a position to actually do what she is good at. I don't know, again, whether that's a system issue, whether that's a teammates issue, but something does need to change, either or, because they're going to lose a lot of games if Caitlin Clark turns the ball over 10 times. They're going to keep losing. She's not going to turn the ball over 10 times, but in a system that kind of almost forces her into a lot of tough passes, in a system that allows her to be doubled without getting without being able to find the open man, it's going to be very tough. But this was a good welcome to the WNBA game for her. She came up against one of the better teams, and while there was quite a bit of bad, there was a lot of good there. There was an awful lot of good there in that game. In 27 minutes, she was only -8 in the 27 minutes. They lost by 20, so they were a lot worse with her off the floor than on the floor. That is a positive. As well as that, she hit 2 or 3 of those long, deep threes coming off the dribble, doing what she does in college, so that'll translate. The shooting splits from 3, 4 of 11 from 3 is not bad. 5 of 15 from the field is iffy, but 4 of 11 from 3 is fine. And that is a percentage that you're going to live with. That is around a percentage that she can expect to shoot. You're not going to shoot 40% from 3. She's probably not going to shoot 40% from 3 on the crazy stuff she shoots. She's not. And she hit quite a few. In the catch and shoot, she seems nice. And yeah, it was to be expected. She was, if you thought that she was going to come in and be the best player in the WNBA straight away, you were very wrong. If you look at anything in the channel, I haven't said anywhere. She's not going to be. It's going to be a long rookie year, but I do think that there are things that did look good. She's still able to get to that 3. Even with every team scouting her like crazy, she's able to get to that 3. So that is like, that's one of the most important things, is that what people are there to watch her do, she's able to do. The problem is that she's put in a situation where it's going to be very, very tough for her as far as keeping the turnovers down, because just the physicality that's being played with her is crazy as well. Like, there's more physicality being allowed right now in the WNBA and the NBA, which is absolutely crazy. But she's going to have to get used to it. And I think she's a good enough player that she will. Aliyah Boston's got to be better. Like, 4 points is 4 and 6 for the person that's an all-star, that's meant to be the best player on this team. Like, realistically, as great as Caitlin Clark is, Aliyah Boston is like meant to be the best player on this team. It's without question Caitlin Clark. I mean, Smith is a damn good player too, but Boston's got to be better. And I don't see that pairing lasting long term. I really don't. Like, Boston is not the right center to play with Caitlin Clark, nor is Caitlin Clark the right point guard to play with Aliyah Boston. If anything, maybe the move is going to be to move Caitlin to the 2. Maybe that's the long-term move, to allow her to push the floor in transition, but play her more off the ball, just because of the gravity that she gets. The fact that if Caitlin Clark isn't able to deal with the physicality of the double teams, triple teams, that's fine. She does enough well other than that in the game, in the sport of basketball, and she can get away with not being on the ball every single time. She can play as like an isolation scorer, but just start her off the ball, get her coming off some pin downs. But again, that is above my pay grade. That is on the coach to do that, because it's very, very clear from that first game that Caitlin Clark isn't a perfect basketball player. She's not. And as I've said in other videos, where it's like, when you get a player like this, you kind of throw everything you learn about basketball out the window. So she's not the perfect player. She has flaws. She's not going to go through a game without doing something wild, whether that be a wild pass, a wild step back. And concerning, I saw a couple of switches off on defense, which was a bit concerning, but again, she'll figure that out. But this is now where the coach really makes her money. Is figuring out a way that of Caitlin Clark being able to play and Aliyah Boston not looking terrible. I don't think look, it's harder. I don't know how to do it. I'm just a guy in Ireland suggesting some ideas, but I'm not a WNBA coach for a reason. Like, Christy Sides probably forgot more about the sport of basketball than I know right now. But yeah, overall, actually a promising enough debut. Like, they lost by 20, but they're 20 points worse. The Sun are a really good team. The Fever are a really bad team. Caitlin Clark had a fine game. 20 points, 10 turnovers is bad. Yeah, no rebounds. She's not going to probably rebound great in the league. But if she ends up averaging 23 and 4 assists with 3 turnovers a game, it's not actually a bad rookie year. In fact, it's a great rookie year. And that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.